What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Marie Fredriksson, and we're beginning the next chapter in this journey. Thank you, as always, to Gebus. And yes, her 1996 album, according to Google Translate, means In a Time Like Ours, and the first track is the title track. So again, assuming that translation is reasonably accurate, it's the kind of phrase that places significance, if not singularity, onto the time period in question. Now again, I expect this to be entirely in Swedish, so I don't think I will have any insights on a first hearing of the song, but I will say, as a historian, it's the kind of phrase that has two sides for me. One, we humans, and especially when it comes to the realm of history, we engage in what is called periodization, meaning we like to put decades or spans of centuries into clear-cut, identifiable, and supposedly discrete eras or periods. And the reality is, in real life, the situation is often more complicated and is entirely replete with subjective perceptions and understandings, logic and or illogic. Now, to be fair also, on the other side of this is, that doesn't make it less legitimate. It just means that what constitutes a given era or a time is up for debate, and it is contested, and in some cases there's notable disagreement as to what the characteristics are, even if the time span itself is more or less agreed upon. Now, I don't expect this to be a historical treatise. I expect this to be more about, perception, and maybe the use of the word ours is crucial, because that might not mean humanity or, modern society. It could mean the narrator and one other person specifically. Nevertheless, it is the kind of phrase that I think speaks to the human disposition to classify, categorize, and to have nice and tidy borders between eras. And, I talk about it a lot when it comes to music. We talk about like 80s music and 90s music. But the reality is, a tune from 89 is likely to have a lot more in common with a tune from 91 than it might with a tune from 81. So, again, we like to speak in these overbroad and neat and tidy labels and categorizations, but in reality or in actual life, things tend to be a bit fuzzier. Nevertheless, as I said, I don't expect to be able to pick up anything here on my first listen, and I look forward to any insights and comments people will have. Let's give it a listen. This is Marie Fredriksson. The tune and the album, which again is from 1996, supposedly translates to In a Time Like Ours.
I en tid som vår, det känns så underligt, så vemodigt ikväll. Regnet faller ner och det är ingen här jag riktigt känner igen. Det blir åter vinternatt och jag hoppas att du redan lämnat stan. Det blir nog en vacker natt, en ensam stilla tår. I en tid som vår.
what a fascinating opener. What a lush tune. And we'll get to Marie's vocals, but they are stunning here, as per usual, but I felt there were a couple moments where they were just really stand out. Like, even in her vocal catalog, there were a couple moments here that I thought hit just fantastically. But before we even get there, what a rich and lush soundscape this tune is. I mean, first of all, we've got this shuffling beat, which sort of feels like it's traveling, like methodically. It's, not overly pacey, not overly powerful. It's not like a massive kick drum or anything, but it has this shuffling, syncopated rhythm. It's persistent. It pervades pretty much the whole tune. And it felt like we were on a journey with the rhythm and the percussion. Secondarily, we have these lush, ambient style pad synths which feel otherworldly, almost like score music, but very mystical. And then at some point we had this really elegant and beautiful violin line. Eventually we have a very bluesy guitar flourish, which, felt like it added a human element. If the ambient pad synths had a bit of this otherworldly and, sort of other dimensional sound to them, the guitar had a very bluesy and, human emotion type of feel to it. And then mixed with that elegant guitar and eventually that like crystalline melodic layer that was very prominent in the end, and then eventually sort of blended into or merged with an actual wind chime type of sound at the very end of the track. I love that. It was just this really cool, I don't know if it was like in the style of a xylophone, but it had a bit of that like struck but also melodic quality to it, which again, xylophone, marimba, and so on. But it felt very crystalline and very pristine in its quality. So yeah, a really nice blend of some different elements that are on different sides of some sonic spectrums, and thus it had a really nice balance to it overall. And then in the center of that, again, Marie's vocal performance, which was at times energetic, forceful, but also sweet and tender at times. Like, it was a very dynamic vocal performance, but again, for some reason, even in her catalog of constantly fantastic vocal work, this one stood out to me for some reason. So yeah, a really great opener. Again, I don't know what to say about the lyrics and what the title phrase might mean, or the way that it is expressed, or the setting of the meaning, but I look forward to any insights in that regard. Either way, a fantastic opener to the album. Looking forward to more. Once again, big thank you to Gebus, and of course to all the other Roxers who have made this side journey, or this related journey, part of their fortnightly activities. You are all greatly appreciated. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.